up in Oklahoma on collard greens with hog maws and neck bones with hot sauce, Soul Train, Earth, Wind and Fire, Ashford and Simpson and Chaka Khan. Backyard barbecues with Uncle Ray Ray in the corner, sleep with a bottle of E&J in his lap, and Pookie and them playing slamming bones on grandma's kitchen table. Those are my roots. But in order to be taken seriously in this world where I am a strong minority, I knew there had to be another side that my white colleagues not only like, but they can relate to. Upon entering corporate white America, I learned quickly that white Trish was a necessity.
I am a lot like the characters in the movie Sunshine Cleaning, who start a business cleaning up bloody crime scenes. The first time I encountered a scene like this, I recoiled in horror. I stood in the middle of Gray's room, dumbfounded by the idea of how I would even begin to clean up a mess like that. My best idea was to just light a match and burn the house down. By the second, third, and fourth times, I had come up with a reasonable system. I have a master's degree, and I'm using it to be a poop scrubber.
I tried the shoes on, he asked me how I liked them. I took off, I ran up one aisle, down the other, and when I got back to him, I said, man, they're great. I can run real fast. I still remember his words when he kneeled down, put his hand on my shoulder. He said, son, where you're going, you're never gonna have to run again. He was wrong, of course, but he didn't lie, he just didn't know any better.
Going away from my face, things didn't get much better. My boobs were a little too droopy for a 15-year-old. And then there was my huge, high booty. I was short, and my torso was so much shorter than my legs that it looked like I was lugging around a giant boulder on my back. I had never paid attention to what I looked like before, but this was the day that I was about to step to a brother that had it going on.
And so I continued to live my double life. Work in the morning, secret trips to the strip club at lunch, and home to the girlfriend in the evening. I justified my guilt by telling myself that I wasn't really doing anything, that it was all completely normal, and that I would stop once I got married. I was getting attention, and that was all that mattered. But any habit can become boring with enough repetition. Even, it turns out, getting dry humped by a big-titted stripper in the jungle room of a New York City strip club.
I became more resourceful by purchasing pads in the school bathroom. I waited until my classmates left before I deposited 25 cents in the metal dispenser and smuggled the contraband into my backpack. I also feared being found out at home. My little sister snooped and would have loved to find those pads and stick them to her forehead, or use them to make homemade knee pads for volleyball.
I have a complicated relationship with the great outdoors. At age 7, during an Indian princess campout, I sleepwalked and climbed into a sleeping bag with someone else's father. During middle school science lab, we visited a local stream to collect macroinvertebrates. After school, I was picking a scab off of my scalp when the scab ran off my finger because it was a tick. I diagnosed myself with Lyme disease, and it was not the first time I revised my living will.